Welcome back to Final Fantasy IX. We're in the final part of the final dungeon. Hooray!
Man, even in the final dungeon, the game just does not take Kina seriously at all.
Why are you even here?
So he can eat all the
Swimming
delicious food.
But this is an interesting thing about Memoria. If you believe in what you see enough, it actually becomes real. But Zidane doesn't, so he's not drowning.
It's okay, Quina. Nothing matters.
Oh, Kina, you're so stupid.
But, you know, I remember this screen specifically because there's something very special on this screen, and I'm sure Ryan is about to go get it. Am I correct?
Oh, is this where the hidden boss is?
And he's ignoring it.
Nope.
Huh. Really?
Oh.
You're ignoring
okay.
Hades?
Why aren't you going to get Hades? Huh.
Ryan?
Did I forget?
Ryan?
What?
You are going to fight Hades, aren't you?
Well, I can't fight Hades. I beat Ozma.
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. He actually has different dialogue if you fight Ozma before him.
Oh.
He actually says, "What, you defeated Ozma?" And then he's like, he hesitates, but he's like, "Oh, we're already this far now." On guard.
Ryan!
Yeah, but that's where you fight Hades. To the right of that screen is a hidden alcove, and you get a little question mark prompt. You talk to him, you fight Hades, you beat Hades, you get a synthesis shop. You can make Pumice.
Huh.
You can also make the tin armor, which is like the best armor for Steiner. And I think anything else I'm missing?
Who's it's called? Sword. Beatrix's sword, can't you?
Yeah, save the queen. Well,
It also plays Hunter's Chance in the boss battle music.
yeah, so it sort of has its own special boss music. Hunter's Chance is just the theme that was playing during the Hunt Festival during Disc 1, though. So, yeah. Hades is a pretty challenging boss at the same time. It isn't a huge loss that we're not getting to see it right now. Because, well, we've already beaten Ozma at that point.
Yeah, to say, if you could beat Ozma, you could beat Hades.
Yeah, but I
Show
liked
it
that.
off.
I like that music. I was actually looking forward to hearing it, God damn it.
You know, still, it's not 100% run if you don't kill Hades. I mean, he's fucking Hades. But
Lord
yeah,
of the Dead.
Hades is
Nice to meet you.
Hades is actually hidden in a really obscure spot in that screen. There's this one alcove you can walk around that behind the coral reefs, and there's just an exclamation point that pops up over your head, I think.
Did you guys find him on your first run, or did you have to wait until, like, you read a
I
guide
found
or
him on
something?
my first run and promptly died.
As did I. Same here.
It took me to the second run to find him.
I love hugging every single... Because Memoria already by design told me that I can find hidden shit by running left and right. And that's how you find Kane's Lance and all that shit. So I proceeded to do that with every hallway.
Yeah, Kane's
inside
Lance,
its
the
screen.
card ghosts, everything.
So by doing that
Kraken.
in that room, I found Hades. And yeah, whipped my ass. By the first attack, because this first attack is usually a general party sweep.
Yeah.
Had you already beaten Ozma by that point?
No.
Did you know?
I didn't beat Ozma. I didn't beat Ozma until my playthrough in 2009.
Did you
Ooh.
know Ozma existed at that point?
Yeah.
And you just
I've known Ozma. This is my first playthrough, but
Yeah.
I was woefully underprepared.
You gotta really go out of your way to find Ozma. Hades is much easier to encounter on your first run because he's right on the way.
And my party just wasn't optimized for that sort of fight because I was still very fresh to 9. I didn't gather all the ability stones and all that, so Curse usually went to my ass.
Man. Kraken, even in Final Fantasy IX, nobody remembers you. We'd have
Yeah, I
nothing to
kinda
say
forgot he
about this guy.
existed.
Yeah, Kraken, the water fiend in even in Final Fantasy I, this guy is like the least impressive of the four because he's just a Kraken. You've seen him before. When I think of a Kraken, I usually think of the one in Shining Force 2, which was a hell of a boss battle. Because Shining Force 2 is a Fire Emblem type game. So it's a strategy RPG, but you're on this boat and you've got Kraken tentacles off to the side and you've got the big Kraken up ahead. And when you attack him, he's got his own battle theme and everything. It's pretty awesome.
I also hear there's a Kraken-like enemy in 14
Yeah.
in one of the hard mode dungeons, but apparently nobody likes that one.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Somebody play the Castlevania music.
It's kind of broken apart, so we need
It's
to
got
say...
way too many goddamn hands. It's no
But
wonder it's
nevertheless, a comfy
jammed.
floor.
There's no
yeah.
like glowy thing here though, for some reason.
There's a secret save point, and I have no idea why this one is secret.
I honestly, yeah, because I think Ted was getting on it. I think they honestly forgot to add a little glowy orb.
Because it kind of,
Oh, so now it's a jumper.
No, that was a random battle.
you know what? I'm pretty sure that because it has to be that because it looks like a place where a save point should be because it's just a little tiny alcove to the side. So, yeah.
Ah, now it all makes sense. Memoria is a TARDIS.
And
We've gone back in time. We're watching
What's
the
that?
birth of the planet.
What's that? Gaia, 5,000 years ago. And the ladder? That's a ladder.
Speaking of, this is the place where you get out Excalibur II if you manage to get here within 12 hours.
It is not here. It is
Up top.
up top here.
Yeah,
is it
after this-
before or after the little trippy space background run?
do they
It's
have?
before. I'm pretty sure it's here.
It's
is it?
right. No, it's not here.
It's,
At the
it's
room
after,
I think it's
yeah,
the room after
it's
this.
after the trippy thing.
What's
Whoops.
the dialogue for it?
No,
though?
it's here.
Do they say like, "Wow, you got here really fast and you get the sword," or does it just say?
The-
you
It's
got
just
it?
there.
There's a letter from Enkidu to Gilgamesh about the sword. I don't remember what it says because I've never gotten it myself. But
Oh, it's
that
you
is
again.
What comes with it? Oh yes, in the Earth Chaos Lich, and
Yes.
yeah, he's got a slightly different model going for this one. Longer cape, blade arms, that kind of stuff. Different animation.
So it makes sense, I think, for that thing to be a save point there, because otherwise you'd have to fight two bosses in a row without a chance to save. So if you lose on one, like if you lose on this guy and you don't know that save point's there, you got to fight Kraken all over again. Which didn't
Yep.
look that hard because we were able to kind of just BS over it without any problems. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, the four fiends are, standard bosses. No harder to beat than the bosses that you fought up to this point, by the way. The final bosses are quite a bit harder, but not super duper hard. Just, if you come into it half-assed, you're probably going to get killed.
Well, the way you guys have described it to me, it doesn't seem like Final Fantasy IX is really the hardest Final Fantasy game. I mean, granted,
really not.
No.
most Final Fantasies aren't too terribly challenging. That's usually the realm of like Shin Megami Tensei or something like that for like your stupid
Yeah.
hard JRPGs.
No, I haven't really experienced 12 fully or gotten my hands dirty with 13 as much as the other Final Fantasy aficionado has, but I would say the one true challenging Final Fantasy is 5.
Yeah, I would say so. As far as the classic games go, 1 through 3 are more like grind fests than real challenges.
Yeah.
5 is a game where your problem isn't when you lose isn't usually that you're under leveled. It's that you're approaching the boss battle with the wrong strategy. So yeah.
4DS is legitimately challenging.
They made that one. They specifically made 4DS to be like, oh, you thought Final Fantasy IV was too easy, did you? Okay, let's take every strategy you had for every fight in that game and flip it on its head. Yeah, there you go.
You dick. Thanks for the money.
But yeah, Final Fantasy XII can be pretty hard at times. But most of its hardest bosses just drag themselves out too long. Final Fantasy XIII can kick your ass if you're not paying attention. But once you know what to do for a given boss, it's usually not that hard, except for that goddamn Barthandelus battle on the airship. Fuck that guy. Everyone lost to that guy their first time, their second time, and probably their third time, too.
Q comments, oh, I beat that guy on my first try, no problem.
Well, the thing is, the bosses that you go through in the plot, you're locked to a specific level at max, so even if you grind as much as it's possible to grind at that point, it's impossible to totally grind through a boss. You have to fight it at its intended difficulty level. So Barthandelus, being the big reveal of the main villain of the game, is, well, it's about as hard as you'd expect the main villain of the game to be.
Yeah, that's
which
all
is good, you know. Yeah, Barthandelus was the point where I actually started to really have fun with the game.
Isn't that like the last 2 hours, though?
No, Barthandelus is like the midpoint.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different boss fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Barthandelus is the point of the game where I start to have fun. Oh, what boss is he? Final boss.
Well, he's the final boss as well, but that's not the incarnation I'm talking
So
about.
technically,
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
Barthandelus does that thing Genova does, where you fight him once around the middle, once somewhere between the middle and the end, and then you fight him at the very end.
So if you get to this place in under 12 hours, to the left of where Zidane was just at, you will get a question mark prompt. You inspect it, and you get Excalibur II. And you get the note from Enkidu.
Good luck.
Which is Gilgamesh's companion, that little demon thing.
Yeah, or in Final Fantasy XIV's case,
A green chicken.
A chicken painted green. Have you gotten that far?
No,
Excellent.
but I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, right, I remember this part. And I bet we're about to step into the crystal world.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
If it wasn't for these stars, then you could totally put some hilarious shit in the background.
Yeah, at some point during this walking cycle, my first playthrough, I was kind of half expecting to see Aerith's face somewhere here.
or flash, or like little video flashbacks to all the previous Final Fantasies.
By the way, this is not a cutscene. You're actually walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to
Hold
progress
up.
far enough to get to that white spot there, that sort of blurry white blob thing. And once you get there, you progress to the next area.
Is it just
This is
an optical
taking a
illusion
while,
that
though.
it keeps on moving, or is it just the camera?
Ryan, did you forget to push up?
There
Ryan.
we go. No, I was just walking, so.
You forgot to push up, so that went on way longer than it needed to.
It's about Matt going absolutely nowhere in Silent Hill 2 for 5 minutes.
Oh, man. So Zidane is asking the perfectly logical question of why he can see everyone else's memories while he's in here.
Isn't Garland dead?
But
Yeah.
his soul remains.
Yeah, for some reason he speaks to you like some sort of force ghost throughout the final dungeon, though. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, death is
But you
only
know
a
what?
minor inconvenience to him.
Yeah.
I noticed that Zidane asked Garland how is he able to see all this, and Garland's first response is a very long ellipses, which means this could be bullshit. He had to think about this. And this is where we start to learn about the crystal. Very late into the game.
Yeah, essentially, well, you learn about this at the beginning of Final Fantasy XIV, but the crystal in this universe serves the same basic role. It's basically the source of all existence.
Cool.
And yeah,
I would even argue, just sort of placed in here, sort of last minute. Just slapped in here.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get what you mean by this is the Final Fantasy prelude, though. It's like a kind of a
It's a
trippy,
warped, distorted version, yeah.
Yeah, trippy, eerie version of it. I like this track. Wait. You didn't show...
It was
I'm
the
pretty sure
Iron Giant.
Iron Giants appear here, too?
Yes.
I know for a fact the Crystal
No.
World has...
The only encounters you should be fighting in the crystal world are the crystal versions of the 4 elementals.
Oh, right.
Well, I already fought the main version, so I get them.
Oh,
'cause-
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The only difference between the crystal and the original versions is they have like half the stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they die
HP.
faster.
I still run away from them because,
They're a
You know-
fucking waste of time.
well, yeah, that too, and yeah, because besides like half of the HP, they're still the same bosses. And no, I already fought you. I'm running away.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense to skip. It's like I was like, isn't there some kind of other weird monster here? But no, I was thinking of Deathguise, which is a hell of a cameo to bring back at this point in the game. By the way, it's a really weird boss to fight before Kuja. But yeah, technically the final boss is 3 phases, but the first phase of the final boss is just a regular boss battle. And after you fight it, Kuja just sort of hovers in the background, and you're free to run back to the save point if you want.
So is the crystal like evil in this one, and that's why the music's
No,
all
but
weird?
it simply exists.
Okay.
Yeah, it simply exists. Basically, the crystal exists because they decided what they wanted was Kuja to decide he wanted to destroy everything. and they only have a really small amount of time of game time left, so they had to give him a really fucking easy way to do that. So he's going after the crystal in the crystal world, which if he destroys it, the entire world will be destroyed, I guess.
Oh, so he's turning the crystals, the universe's off button. Got it. Okay.
Basically,
yeah. But here's the question: if he's been hovering here this whole time, why is the crystal still there?
Maybe he's in the process of destroying it, and it just takes a really long fucking time.
But yeah, Deathguise, or Deathgaze, as you might know him from Final Fantasy VI.
Doomgaze.
Doomgaze, right, yeah. We can't say death in a children's game.
No, we can say Doom.
I will destroy you.
We can't say wine either. Needs to be cider.
Yeah.
Can't
Look
be
at
a
all
pub,
this
it has to be a
grape juice.
cafe.
Don't you dare call it holy. We're going to call it white. No, not white. Okay, pearl.
But yeah, and Jesus, this boss looks more intimidating than I remember.
It is
Yeah,
pretty weird looking.
They gave it he's a lot more menacing than Doomgaze from 6.
Yeah.
When
I
did
like
you
it.
fight
I like
Doomgaze
this.
again?
Doomgaze was an optional boss that you could encounter on random world maps.
Oh,
spaces
that
while-
guy! Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
him
while
now.
flying around the world map in the world of Ruin, and if you beat
Yeah,
him, you got
airship
Bahamut.
asshole.
Yeah, basically proto Ultima weapon, except way more annoying.
I remember.
I just
him
dropped a meteor on him.
Oh yeah, I remember him because the way I looked up how to encounter him reliably was to just to slightly tilt the airship to one direction and then hold up so that you go across the entire world map eventually.
One
Yeah.
pixel at a time.
One pixel at a time, every square. Can't possibly miss it if you go at the correct angle. It's kind of like spiraling around the planet in a really tight coil.
What's that airship doing? I don't know. But it looks fucking ridiculous.
It's a good thing we don't worry about fuel in this universe.
Yeah.
You know, when in my headcanon, whenever I do that, I just imagine that the entire Final Fantasy VI cast of characters has gone temporarily insane, and has decided that if they fly around the world in a corkscrew pattern fast enough, they'll eventually turn back time and undo everything Kefka did.
No, that's not how time works, Superman 1.
Silver Age, Ted. Silver Age.
I love this backdrop for this boss battle. A little weird how we only find it here, because when we fight Kuja after this,
It's a different
we're
arena
at the place that
entirely.
he's talking to.
Yeah, what is this with this boss battle in the weird mountainous area we're in? Was this battle intended for somewhere completely different?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Couldn't tell you.
What, they just had an extra boss and then they were like, oh shit, we don't have a place for this.
Yeah, just put him
Well,
somewhere.
You know what it reminds me of, actually? Griever from Final Fantasy VIII. When Ultimisia summons Griever during the final boss battle, it basically wrecks the entire battle arena, and you're on a very small, rocky outcropping exactly like this. So maybe Deathguise is an Eidolon? I don't know.
With a design like that, I wouldn't be surprised. But,
It's interesting to think about. Of course, the cool thing about Griever in Final Fantasy VIII was that before you even get to the final area, you can actually teach Quistis his attack as a blue magic spell. So you can't technically summon Griever, but at the same time, in a way, you can, which I thought was a nice compromise. Granted, you're probably never using Quistis' Limit Break anyway, because, well, Selphie, Renoa, and Squall are just better. And, so is Zell. And potentially Irving. And everyone but Quistis, really. Man, that's sad.
oh, boy.
So don't use Quistis.
Yeah, don't you? I think I'm trying to sense a motto for this little rant here.
Final part next time.
Yes.
Yay.
See you guys then. It's a beefer.